Hi, in this video we're going to talk about the square button and the general exponent button that's also known as the caret button. And this is specific to the TI-30XS multi-view calculator. So before we actually look at the calculator, let's take a look at what's called an exponential expression. Here's an example of an exponential expression, and we have a 3 and a 4, and it's read 3 to the 4th power, where 3 is called the base and 4 is called the exponent or the power. And what it means, 3 to the 4th power, means we're going to take the base number 3 and multiply it times itself the exponent number of times. In this example, 4 times. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. So now let's take a look at some examples. Alright, so what we're going to do is work through 6 examples, and we're going to evaluate these expressions that you see here. But before we do, let's locate the square button and the general exponent button, which again is called the caret button. So they're located in the far left-hand column, and you see them here. So now let's work through the examples. In example 1, we have 9 squared. So we're going to input the 9 first, and follow that by the square button, and press enter. So the base again is the 9, the 2 is the exponent, and it means 9 times 9, which is 81. Now let's see what happens if we use the 9 with the general exponent button here. So let's click this. Now you're going to notice on the screen it has an empty box. In this empty box we can enter any exponent we want. So if we want to input a 2, we can, and press enter. And it gives us the same answer. So you'll notice with 9 squared, we had 2 different ways to input those expressions. Number 2 is 5 to the 4th power. Well, let's type the 5, which is the base number. Let's see what happens if we type in the square. Well, we need a 4 here, not a 2. What you could do is use the back button on the circular navigational pad here and get over top of the 2 and then replace it with a 4. That's one way to work. So 5 is the base, 4 is the exponent. It means 5 times itself 4 times, and that's 625. So let's try it with the general exponent or the caret button. So 5, the caret button, 4, and press enter. So you'll see here that if you want to square a number, it's more convenient to use the square button. And if you want to raise a number to an exponent that's not a 2, then the caret button is a better option. Let's clear the screen and take a look at number 3 and 4. So we have negative 4 without parentheses squared, so negative 4 squared, and press the enter. It gives us negative 16. If we use parentheses around the negative 4 and square it, look what happens. We get a positive 16. So let's take a look at why this happens. What's nice is the calculator will take care of this for us, but negative 4 without parentheses means negative 4 times 4, and that's negative 16. So in other words, the base without parentheses is just the 4, not the sign. With parentheses around the negative 4, squared means negative 4 times negative 4, and that gives us a positive 16. So the key here is with parentheses, we will square both the sign and the number. So in other words, the base is negative 4, not just the 4. So let's clear the screen and try the fraction. So let's use a parenthesis followed by a negative, the fraction button, type a 3, move down, type in the 4, move to the right, and put in the parenthesis, and then press the square button. And you'll notice what happens here. We square both the 3 and the 4. And again, because the parentheses has the negative sign in it, we have to square that as well. So in other words, the base is the entire negative 3/4. That gives us a positive 9/16. So in the last example, we have negative 3/4 without the parentheses. Let's type that in, negative 3/4. Now make sure you move to the right because we want to make sure we square the entire fraction. So notice that the parentheses are not around the 3/4, so it's just going to square the 3/4 and not the sign. So in other words, the base is just 3/4, not negative 3/4. Press enter, and it gives us a negative 9/16. So I hope you found this video helpful in understanding the difference between the square button and the general exponent button. Again, that is also known as the caret button. Take care.